starting on Saturday. We have the Houston Texans going on the road to take on the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, thanks, Pat. Man, this is quite a matchup here. I really should have listened to my gut and picked CJ Stroud and the Texans to win last game against the Browns there, but kind of went with what was on paper there. But this game against the Ravens, my beloved Ravens here. So two of my favorite teams I think that are playing right now, Texans Ravens. It's going to be a cold one there. I think it's going to be. I think the last time I checked, it was going to be like below 20 degrees, maybe even cooler there if you factor in wind chill. So definitely going to be, winter football. I think kind of happening over there. But CJ Stroud basically had a perfect game against the Browns. I think that's the best way to put it. So had an almost perfect passer rating and decimated one of the top ranked defenses in the NFL. And he's going to be going against another top-ranked AFC North team there, having an elite defense. They've been able to get to the quarterback a bunch, so I think that'll be a test. Against Tunstall and such. I mean, that matchup with like Clowney and Benoit getting to CJ Stroud, that's going to be key because CJ Stroud was basically kept upright for most of the game. Like Myles Garrett was not a factor at all in the game. So, that should be something to keep an eye out on, especially on those, play actions that CJ Stroud just killed and decimated the Browns secondary there. So that being said, hey, let's look at the Ravens here. Mark Andrews looks like he's, possibly he's going to be returning for this game, and that can only help. That's, Lamar Jackson's favorite target there. It can definitely help out in the red zone, which, when you have a big tight end there, even with Likely, like it was hard to beat Mark Andrews as a tight end, getting those touchdowns from Lamar. So Lamar is 42% against the spread with a 3.5 more at point spread there as a favorite. It is the Ravens by 9. It looks like here. He, if it's a 7.5 though, he is 1-8. So against the spread, I am picking the Ravens here, but 9-point spread. I think the Texans will cover. Like this team has been playing really well. They just so happen to be going against the Ravens here, one of the best teams in football, and have been playing really well of late. So, I'm just going to have to pick the Ravens, winning by maybe a touchdown or less. But yeah, covering that 9-point spread there.
I mean, I feel like with some of these younger quarterbacks now that are proving that they can, somewhat hang, it's kind of hard to look at those spreads and, take them seriously, go with the over on most of them. I feel like a lot of these games are going to be close. Like Jordan Love, CJ Stroud came with that perfect passer rating, looked amazing out there, looked like it was just, one of his better exhibitions in the regular season. And I mean, the Browns didn't do themselves any favors. I mean, I felt like those costly picks by Joe Flacco, I mean, they were just really bad throws. I mean, one ending in a pick six, but man, those were some ugly, ugly throws. I felt like that was kind of the turning point in that game. Probably led to a lot more confidence for Stroud. I'm not sure Lamar Jackson's going to walk out there and make similar errors. I mean, I feel like, their team has been very disciplined throughout this entire year. If I were them, I'd focus a lot on the ground game. Hopefully try to pound it down, Houston's throat. That was one of their, weak links, I'd say, throughout the years, just kind of preventing, good rushing and things like that. Maybe adding Dalvin Cook into their running back mix might also be something to look out for. I mean, he had a very lackluster season with the Jets, but maybe, given the bye week and just his ability to kind of get fresh, get ready to be part of Baltimore, maybe it's just an extra piece they can throw in, that mix with guys like Melvin Gordon and others there. Like you're saying with Mark Andrews, that's a huge piece to have back, especially with Likely playing so well. Zay Flowers obviously been like one of their best receivers. You got Beckham there too. I like that whole offensive mix right now for the Ravens. This feels like if they were to match up with anybody, they'd want to take on maybe a young up and coming type team versus, if it was the Browns, I think that'd have been a tougher matchup for them to be, quite honest. I mean, it's probably a bad take at this point considering the outcome of, that wild card game between the two, but it's like the fact that, Stroud's going on the road, First game in as a rookie. I mean, we saw Joe Burrow do some amazing things with Cincy, in his first couple of seasons in the NFL. I mean, I think Stroud could be right there in terms of, his upside, his potential long term, like a guy like Burrow. But I just feel like this is a little bit too much to bite off in his first year. He got one of the best defenses there. I mean, Kyle Hamilton playing his way to an all pro season, Roquan as well. I mean, I just like, the guys and the personnel they have there, and being at home in Baltimore, a little bit chillier. Those elements might be a little bit different for a dome team. So, man, yeah, I'm right there with you. I do think this is going to be a game. I don't want to take any team lightly past this point. I don't know if spreads can really be that big in the playoffs and feel real, confident about them. But I think Baltimore's had a great year, and I think they can at least get this first victory here.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar is playing really well. We can talk about his, I guess, postseason record. I think it's like 1-3 or something like that. But I think this team seems just a little bit different. You also got to look at the coaching too. Like Harbaugh, he's one of the best coaches out there. Has a good track record. He's making the playoffs, making some runs here and there. Has a Super Bowl under his belt too, and also has a really good coaching staff. A lot, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. They're getting some look-sees for head coaching positions. So, and rightfully so. They've, both McDonald and Monken have done a tremendous job, kind of just improving each side of the ball there. So. I really like this team. Really like the coaching. I mean, that's like one factor to take into account for. As we see the Cowboys kind of, I think they just said that Mike McCarthy is going to be staying over there for the Cowboys. So sorry, Cowboys fans out there. You have my sympathies. Get well soon, etc. Looking forward to another 12-win season and then an early exit in the playoffs. But, I just see that this Ravens team, I think they can bring it. It's just an unfortunate matchup, I think, for the Texans. I think they'll be able to get some pressure. Honestly, just trying a few errant throws here and there. And then Lamar, he just knows how to dissect a defense. I don't think he's going to be making the same like Joe Flacco mistakes there against the Texans defense. So especially with the weapons, pretty decent line as well. And if they're able to establish a running game with Cook, Gus Edwards, Hill, etc., there, then I think this game could definitely push that 9-point spread there. But yeah, I think faith with CJ Stroud to keep it close. DeMeco Ryans, tremendous coach. Really good game plan, I think, against this last game against the Browns there. So it's just unfortunate, I think, for the Texans here, but. I think Ravens, kind of walk away with this one here.